Hi everyone. I hope you're having a really great week, a short week for those of us here in the US. I'm so excited to be part of the Women in Lean group because we just launched our second magazine, and I got to be able to collaborate with some wonderful ladies on this magazine. And besides just writing articles, we had people doing copywriting and people doing the layout and just putting it all together. And it wasn't just one person, it took an entire team. In this past year, I learned so much that the community and network and collaboration between the community and networks is such a big thing in this digital world. And it's something I believe that we need to continue doing as we move forward. But I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about my article in particular, and that is failure is not an option. When you think of that title, it's like, oh my gosh, failure, we can't do it. But that's really the complete opposite. It's okay to fail. I do know that a lot of times we think failure is something negative and it might bring up some bad emotions. But what if we change that and think of failure as a learning opportunity? And it's really upon us to create that opportunity, not just for ourselves, but for others. So by creating that learning opportunity when we do fail, provides us a chance to learn from those failures and then move forward a lot faster. But like for example, I mean, when we were kids, we learned how to walk by falling, getting back up, falling, getting back up. It was those little steps that we took as children to learn how to walk that really gave us a chance to learn and experiment what we can and can't do. And that's where I think continuous improvement really, really helps with this concept. Um, when we go through continuous improvement, of course, we define the problem, look at the current state, find the root causes. But then we get to a point where we brainstorm and do some problem solving to determine solutions or improvements that can fix those root causes. But we don't end up doing all of those solutions or improvements. In fact, we hypothesize which ones we think are going to be the right ones to use. And while we might hypothesize and might use data to predict what's going to happen, we still have to go out there and experiment with those improvement solutions. Majority of the time, majority of the time, we're going to be very successful, right? Where whatever we do is and implement is going to make positive changes. But there also could be times, no matter how much we hypothesize, we still have to actually do the experiments. And there might be times where the experiment failed, but that's okay because we learn. And by taking that learning opportunity, we're able to implement something else within that project or within that engagement. So the same concept applies here in just everyday life that failure should not be an option, no matter if it's in the personal life or in your career or in your business life. Think about the time when we were in middle school or even in high school that we were in science class and we hypothesized we would do X, Y to get the Z outcome, right? It's the same concept. So by failure and by going out and doing something, we're experimenting and hypothesizing what we're doing and we're learning, regardless if the experiment was positive or it failed. But see, why can't we just call it, instead of saying it was successful or failure, why don't we just say we had this learning opportunity, then we can learn if its prediction came true, or we can learn if the prediction did not come true. So instead of thinking of failure as something bad, let's think of it something positive. And that just gives us that learning opportunity so that way we can continue to grow and get to our results much faster. So I'd like to know, what do you think about failure? Do you experiment within your personal life? Do you experiment within your career? Do you experiment within your job or business? Let me know below. If not, send me a private message and maybe we can set some time to talk about it. And have a great rest of the week.